Okie dokie, ladies and gents, let's go ahead straight into the ZZQ. Okay. Random cat noises in the background. First one's from SkyD2. Explain the sun build and emblem, please. Okay, that was a while ago. Of course. I posted a sun build. Let me find it for you guys. Let's see here. Yes. This build and this emblem mostly relies on the assassin emblem, but you can go tank if you're going to use the third build. Or no, the second build, sorry. But the premise of the build is, of course, to enhance your jungling capabilities early game. So if you can jungle, you get Raptor Machete. The proper way would be, of course, the Nimble Blade, then the boots, then the Raptor Machete, then your Windtalker, then the DHS, Oracle, Golden Staff, BOD, and Wotac. You sell the items as you build them. Basically, you get rid of your boots and you get rid of Raptor as you get more late game. And the way the build works once you're late game is that you have a really high attack speed because of number 1 Windtalker, number 2 the Golden Staff, and your clones will obviously inherit those abilities and heal you a lot. That's why Oracle is there. They obviously inherit DHS as well, and you inherit Golden Staff. They only inherit the attack speed from it, but it makes sure that basically anything will pretty much die. If you were looking for about how much this build sustains, it sustains about, and this is just from healing alone, not factoring in Wotac's damage res or anything like that, but it heals about 12 seconds straight of turret damage. So you went in and you got 12 seconds straight of turret damage. Realistically, it means that you would be able to tower dive and immediately pop your ult, and they would obviously target your clones, and you can just go ham in there for about 5 legit seconds of turret diving late game. And that's how the build works. It relies on heavy sustain while doing heavy burst damage. It's one of the very few Sun builds that relies on his clones for healing, and at the same time, if you catch anybody slacking in their own lane, you will destroy them. There's no way to escape this. But yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Second one is the tankier one. As you can tell, you still core item wise in terms of damage is DHS and the Golden Staff, because that's just his main damage source, and after that, you're kind of free. And that's just the case with any DHS-based hero. You're free to build anything you want after that, similar to Badang, and this is just a more bursty, balanced heal build at the top. The middle one's tanky, and the bottom one is actually pure burst. So if you're going to go 100% sacrifice, you are the carry on your team, and you're actually being protected properly by your tanks, something you probably won't see, but if you see that, that's your hyper carry build down there. But yeah, back to the ZZQ. Alright, okay, all the way up. Hanabi Build for Frost Phoenix. I will ask Mello about this one. I have my own, but Mello has a different opinion, and Mello is a Hanabi main, so we'll defer to him. Seiko AG, hi Zero. Blade of 7 Lolita as a second tank, of course. Look, dude, if you want to have some fun in Classic, go for it. Nothing wrong with that. Alright, Inari. Ooh, Inari coming with a big wall of text. Let's go. Alright, so with the most recent patch, Raptors was nerfed. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yep. Have you updated fighter builds because of this? Well, fighter builds, I normally don't build Raptor in the first place. I always build Beast Killer. That's just Pillager Axe minimum. That's just, I've always done this. So Raptor's nerf in terms of me playing fighters is unaffected, and in terms of Raptor's nerf for marksman, it's still unaffected, because regardless of its true damage nerf, it's still gonna be the most effective at providing experience while jungling. But yeah, let's see. Since the amount of HP gained from spell vamp via up level stacks is 20% of the damage dealt by skills, is it better to build full build Raptors first if we're not using jungle item, Legion sword before getting Bloodlust? First tier, okay, that's Nimble Blade, or just Jungle Knife. Boots, second tier, Nimble Blade, first core item. Third tier, this way. So this is what I've told people to do many times already. I normally go Nimble Blade, core item, and then Raptor. That's when I complete it, because it takes time to farm those stacks. Unless you're actually 100% farming those stacks, like your Nimble Blade is purchased and you already have 10 stacks, then why not get Raptor? But if you're not, if you have Nimble Blade just purchased and you have 3 stacks, yeah, go ahead and build your core item and then come back and build Raptor after that. It's the most effective way of doing it, and you save a lot of time, and your gold economy is better this way. Kal-El, is NOD worth on Baxia? No, it's not worth unless you have a secondary tank and you're more of a debuff tank. Is Feather actually even worth it on most heroes anymore? Windtalker overall is better, so would it be better on heroes like Gwyn, Harith, and Esme? The Feather is worth it more on these heroes that have magic power, but a lot of them can crit, like Gwyn and Harith. So if you can rely on that random crit and you like that, then go for it. I think Windtalker is more versatile since it provides you for better wave clear and more mobility in general. But late game, it's not going to do more damage than Feather of Heaven. So that's going to be critical on more like heroes like Gwyn late game, but still I wouldn't trade for Windtalker because of the wave clearing potential there. Feather is more for heroes that do a lot of AoE basic attacks, like just for old reference, Claude. But and Esme does it as well because she has that basic attack integrated. It depends on your hero and it depends on the enemy lineup. If you're too tanky, Feather is useless. You might as well get some Pen instead of some Feather of Heaven. But if you can abuse it, why not? A good hero to abuse this is, for example, like Harley. If you're doing some split pushing with Harley, like you can't do anything else when you come into a team fight because you get destroyed by Aurora or whatever. You're gonna get destroyed. You can't do anything. You have to resort to split pushing. It's really useful on heroes like him. And it's actually good in unison with Windtalker if you use it for split pushing. Changu and Harley are good at this, for example. Alright, Dogsum, to me, why didn't you take Impure Rage for the support Cecilium gameplay? As you can see, it meant you had low mana early to mid game. You should be fine with Demon Shoes, Elegant Gem, and Impure Rage. So, because I don't know, I just don't feel right getting Impure Rage. I don't think it's gonna do much how do you say it? It's not gonna make a difference to how I play him. His mana problems come from spamming his skill 1. He doesn't really have a mana problem unless you actually spam that skill, and that's just gonna change as you get more stacks and more mana. So to me, the Magic Shop is better because I can buy these items that regen mana faster than actually regenning mana per wave clear. It's just my preference is to get more items because as a support, getting items, it's my lifeline, not getting mana. So that's just my opinion there. Even when I have low gold, I can buy items, and when you're playing support, these items are critical because they have the effects that you want in teamfight, and that's what I want. But yeah, just my preference there. Kal-El, IMO, you should have used Batowski's Cecilian setup, support emblem, movement speed, pen, third with mana boots, book, would have been much better. Check his video out. No thank you. I again already said why I use it. If I have any mana issues, I will build the book. I've been building the book more recently when I go support Cecilian. I'm just not used to not having that buff, so it kind of hurts not having the buff early game, but I can adjust. All I have to do is get that book. But yeah, support emblem is not the greatest thing since Swiss cheese. It's pretty good. It's really good, but it's not better for my circumstances. You can't just have a one size fits all without any disclaimers in there. That's not how you set up builds in the first place. Veil build, an explanation for at 6'9". I'm not sure if I posted my Veil, but I'll make sure. Maybe I did and I was just sleepy and posted it. I did, okay. So you can go Flame Shot or Purify. Yup. And this is Magic Worship, Pen, and Movement Speed. Yep. And so this works. This works by essentially extending the amount of times that Glowing Wand will proc Lightning Truncheon as enemies are running away, and getting you some nice clutch kills as they're retreating and they just pop Lightning Truncheon and they die. It's pretty cool because Magic Worship will do that, and in sync with Glowing Wand, it's just toxic. If you want to rush this Clock of Destiny, that's fine. Rush it. You can switch it with Glowing Wand. It depends on your preference. And if the enemy's too tanky, you can obviously. Basically what I'm saying is you can postpone Glowing Wand, but you're not going to get those clutch kills until you buy it. And of course, that's just the way the Veil build works. It's burst. There's nothing much to say. It's just a bursty Veil build, and it's gonna kill a lot of things. A lot of things will die with that thing. All right. Let's see, Miru. Oh, new name around here. Build for my new buff, Boy Alpha, and your thoughts on his buff. Okay, Alpha has a really, really good buff. It puts him in the same tier as like Leomord. I think he's pretty good now. So I'll post a build for you guys in Snake Place after this. Alright, Nightshade and Ari. Berserker's Fury or Blade of Despair on Martis. In training mode with BOD plus Blood of Sax, you get average about 1200 DPS to max damage between. Okay. Yep. Well, that DPS is dependent on your crit rate. So if you crit often, it kind of depends. It's cheaper, so if you're critting often and you can land a lot of basic attacks, fine, but you have to take into account how often you will be crowd controlled in a team fight, and then adjust accordingly. So if you're going to be crowd controlled often, you can't go the Berserker's Fury route. If you will be crowd controlled often, then I think wait, I just said the same thing. But if you're going, the idea is if you're only worth it, if you're, the only thing worth for you is going in and doing some damage and going out, BOD is going to be better for you because you do get that enhanced damage and therefore enhanced ultimate damage when you hit somebody that's low, and that'll help you gain a lot of more chain kills. That's why that works. But I mean, if you're out there jungling or doing other things and fighting marksmen or something, you need the DPS. And you crit often, Berserker's Fury could be an option for you. It just depends. It really does. Give Trim Toxic Roll. Alright, Kalel. Please explain to people why Zilong is worth maining, and why Zilong is better than Gord, and also Veil is better than Zilong and Gord. Okay, Veil is broken. Seriously, he's just the strongest mage in the game. Post, obviously, if you can go damage on him. If you can't go damage on him, he's not the strongest mage in the game. But if you're doing the knock up on skill 2, he's still pretty strong. Same as like Aurora tier. But anyways, Zilong is worth maining. Boy. Well, the rework's coming out pretty soon, so he can do a lot of neutralization. He's good as an assassin, split push as well. There's nothing really bad to his kit in the new update. His main downfall right now is basically jungling early game and sustaining in team fights. It'll be a lot easier in the early game with that update coming out, so definitely making it not so much more niche and more viable for people to main their favorite without being an actual liability to the team. Alright, Af. When are you deleting the toxic roll and you still haven't answered BOD or Hunter Strike? Which one is better for him? For who? Who is him? Which is better for assassins, Blade of Heptases, and the toxic roll will always be yours, sir. Which is better for assassins, from Juno, Blade of the Heptases, or Malefic Roar? Thank you. Oof. It depends on if you're one of these. It depends on what kind of assassin you are. If you're the type of assassin, which you should be, normally the one that comes in, does their job, and then wants to get out of the damage zone, then Heptases is better for you. If you're more of the prolonged team fight assassin, then Malefic Roar is better for you since you're going to need it to basically kill those fighters. Heptases and Hunter Strike and Raptor Machete will carry you a long way. And once that will start to fall off, you can probably sell Raptor for Malefic and be fine, honestly. But Heptases is definitely a great item. Sunshine builds, please, as I will soon pick up Paramus, Sunshine Gordvale in ranks for the sake of it. Kalel, oh boy. That's okay. Sunshine builds are already posted, dude. How do I record videos? So my phone has an internal recorder, and that's how I record them. Before that, I downloaded on Android. I had this service called Stream Mirror Pro, and my phone was rooted, so I could record internal audio. With my new phone, it records internal audio by default. No need for root. But there's many ways to record videos on your phone. The most popular one would be Mobizen, and that's one I recommend as well. But it doesn't record internal audio unless you're on Samsung.
It comes with the Samsung Galaxy devices. Wait, what?
Dude, not everybody has Galaxies. Stop. It's the same as my phone. Not everybody's going to be able to have an internal recorder already pre-installed on their phone. And in that case, Mobizen is the best. Just remove that watermark.
Facts.
Alright, Miru, Uranus build. Maybe. I think I owe a couple of builds now. Alpha and Uranus for now, I think. Alright. Sky D2, why do you think the offlaner should be going what? Against both the enemy marksman and the tank? No, I don't think they should be suiciding. If you are tanky enough, if your offlaner choice is something that can actually sustain that, why not? And if you have backup from mid, why not? But not really if you're like a squishy side laner that can't do this. If you can't abuse the enemy, don't do it because they will abuse you, okay? Kalel, how do I convince someone that concentrated Villiers sucks? I mean, you just look at the facts. He just sucks. The heck is that? Like, why would you build that? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Why did Noonton nerf Alice's passive? They're literally forcing concentrated energy right now. Because Alice is a tank. Sharky, how to counter 131 Moskov. Boy.
Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita, or if you're going to counter Moskov, you're gonna have to do something more like a Johnson crash and just delete him. He's really squishy like that. Don't let him gank you, just gank him and he dies. Kalel, how to counter Mobazane's Moskov Hyper. Dude, just if you're worried about one person in specific and their Moskov or whatever they are, then you build a team that can invade, and you invade their red and shut down their jungle. That's how you stop any hyper. Really. Alright, dog sim to me. Give Lunox Build. So, just going back up to this, by the way. Heroes like Carmilla and Uranus can bully the crap out of the enemy red. Alright, give Lunox offlane build since I tried it 2 months ago, but someone told me it was bad. Someone try it again. I assume it needs the book. Yeah, it does, but it also relies on the Lightning Truncheon and Clock of Destiny and a lot of different stuff. In my opinion, you really don't need it. The book, I would say you get Lightning Truncheon first for that wave clear, and otherwise you're not gonna survive much for the wave clear again. Sorry, I just clicked to build this thing by accident. But I really don't have an offlane build. I can try to make one, but I don't know. Ask Sis for this. Alright, Sensei Deku. So let's say this tank user decided to main Franco because he bought his nightmare skin. Do you see it being valuable in rank? If you can hook. Yes, of course. Kalel, yesterday also Cyclops build and Snake Place win. No, stop. Cyclops is no. His damage is good, his jungling is good, everything is nice about Cyclops, except for the fact that you can counter him with Necklace of Durance, his whole kit is shut down, and if you have a good tank, they can literally absorb his skill 2 all day, any day, all the time, okay? Bad idea. Stop. Stop. Alright. Anubis, why is NA so dumb? Bro. Hold on, let me show you something from, it's probably one of my latest. Zero, yes, has image. Ooh, look at this. I was playing with Telsime. Shout out to Telsime. Go sub to him if you haven't. Main Argus, by the way. But yeah, here's the problem. Look, we went duos, and like, look at these teammates, bro. Like, do you realize how sweaty this game was? Like, it was like super sweaty. We were over here sweating hard. Enemy got Esme, they got Harith, and then they got a good actual tank, and then they got Argus offlane, and then Leslie, right? And so we're over here struggling because they were getting fed off of our noobs. I mean, can you imagine a Hellcurt dying to a Leslie? That was sad. That was tragic. And then you have Masha losing to an Esme, tragic. And then Hylos was feeding the whole time, just trying to, like, he was just literally sitting there letting Harith get fed off of him. And it was so horrible. It was cringy. We pulled it back around. It was clutch. It was a really clutch game. It was just so annoying to play. That was NA hell, bruh. And then I think Sai is uploading this one today to his channel. If he hasn't already, I'll check later. But we played this one yesterday night, day and night, bro. It's just, you either dominate in Mobile Legends in North America with randoms that are decent. This Atlas was decent. And you either dominate with the randoms or you get wrecked by the randoms. What I've been doing recently is just blacklisting everybody that's a noob, enemy, or ally, and then just never match up with them again. Problem solved. Alright. Af, I don't know if you still remember, but why did you say I would be good in Aurora when you saw my gameplay? Okay, so I looked a lot at your gameplays earlier, or back then, and you have a keen sight for when to go into team fights. And if you play Aurora the same way you play your Claude, which is kind of assassin-like, you come in, do your reaping, and then you just leave. If you do that and look for the same opportunities, you would be fine with Aurora. That's pretty much any Aurora main skill set. And just navigating around the map, going around team fights, looking for those squishies that are running away, and playing more like an assassin. And that's what I saw. So that's why I said Aurora would be good for you. Alright. Final questions in. Let's go. Nightshade Inari. Do you think the change recently to the most popular AD damage, like, okay, should build a defensive item other than boots first? Previously, fighters would build one or two other AD items. So their damage nerf is not impacted as much as you think, because a lot of their damage comes from leveling up, and a lot of their sustain or their armor, especially for fighters, comes from leveling up. So the more you level up, the more tankier you get. So it's just scaling, really. And if you have bad scaling on a hero, then yeah, you might want to build some armor first. I think it just further drives a wedge between magic heroes and physical heroes, how there's a big like ravine in the middle where magic is just way better. Like at this point, everybody should just play magic heroes. They're just broken. Do you think building something like brute force first may be the way moving forward? I can see that working. But I wouldn't say it would be the best way to move forward. I would say if you get your core item, and Beast Killer is just a better version of brute force. It's a less mobile version, but it'll at least help you jungling and stuff. And it's just hybrid. It's the best hybrid defense item in the game. So yeah, I would say if you're a fighter, because this is mostly for fighters, I think if you're a fighter now, I would recommend you get your Pillager Axe first, then build your core item, then build your boots, and then, you know, if you have enough stacks, get your third tier Beast Killer. If you can't, if you don't have enough stacks, then go ahead and get, you know, build as you should normally be building core item, boots, more core items and stuff, and only buy that Beast Killer when you have enough stacks to get it. Alright, Koeiji, what up my homie, Brody, Boy Guy Zero, the man of the hour and the earth and the hour and earth. If I build Dominance Ice first, I'd lack HP. Yes, you would. Should I build the item that gives plus 600 HP health first, or just full on dominance? Yeah, I would say, oof, that's tough, man. You still go for the there's a part to dominance. It looks like a shield. It's a part of dominance. I'd say build that first, and that would be it. It's tough because dominance doesn't have HP, so it kind of feels weird using it. I would never build it first, honestly, personally. I'd rather get some good armor in there first, like either Athena's, or if you can't, like Wotak or something, but that's just my opinion. I'd rather build some other stuff before getting that Oracle or Athena's, or just something with HP and some type of cooldown or some valuable asset later on. Or, I mean, mostly it's counter building, so I can't really specify on something, but I would never build dominance first. And Twilight being buffed against crit heroes, I'd rather build that first if I'm fighting a lot of crits, honestly. Alright, my Helicart build is updated, Sharky. It's still the same. I haven't done anything different to it. The last one, the third build, is the same. I just build Nimble Blade first, and then get my boots, my mana boots. Then after I build my mana boots, I get Raptor Machete, and then continue building along Windtalker and blah 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 blah. And that's how I build it. I used it recently. I still love the build. Alright, last one. Yoxim to me. With the significant Esmeralda slow nerf, where do you think she stands? Will there be a new build which incorporates Ice Queen Wand or Dominance Ice to make up for the nerf? Do you even think Esme Hyper may rise due to red buff giving a massive slow to offset the nerf? Okay, that's a tough question, but at the same time, you have to think about the impact of usually when Esmeralda uses her ultimate. She's never used her ultimate in coordinated team fights, and like legit team fights. She rarely would use it without backup. She's not going to tower dive you unless she has a full shield, first of all. And when she does do it, she's going to have backup from her tanks and her mages or whatever. So you have to think about this not just from a one hero perspective, you have to think about it from a whole team-wide effect. So, in my opinion, it doesn't really make it a big nerf for her. Yeah, a couple things might escape, but not too often. I think a more appropriate nerf for her, when you would be starting to worry about things, would be when they nerf her movement speed boost. So, that's about it. I don't think anything is going to happen differently. Esme is still pretty much the only counter to shields, and it should be that way, and that's just the way it is. I think that she stands in her appropriate spot where she's still pretty good. She can be countered, and it just takes a coordinated team, and if you're not countering her, you're just going to suffer. That's just the way it is. You counterplay or you die, and it's just the way it is, because, I mean, heroes were made for a specific reason, and when enemies take them because they're meta or whatever, there's always going to be a counter, guys. So just use those brain cells properly, and don't be a random, and provide brain aches for people like Telsium and me with that when Sicilian game. I still remember. I think I have PTSD from that game, man. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next ZZQ. If you guys haven't been paying attention, I haven't posted recently, like the past 3 days or so. It doesn't mean I haven't been playing. I've actually been recording, just haven't been posting those gameplays. Again, I think Saya's posting that Ling one because he went Assumption. So if you want to see it, go ahead and head over to Saya's channel for that one. I'm still kind of in the Mythic 4 range. Other news include the Reddit update. We have the official Reddit having some official allowing YouTubers like me to post over there. So you might be seeing a lot more content over there, or just me reposting some of my older videos that are basically timeless, like damage calculator is not going to change, so stuff like that, or the tier list or something, highly controversial videos. Which I think I'll work on another one. In terms of you guys that are kind of bugging me for, because I asked for all these videos from you guys, and about with your heroes, I still need those videos, and I'm still gonna do it. I haven't quit on that. Yeah, sorry for the hiatus. And yes, I have been playing SS, but SS is a gacha game. We just play it in the background, okay? But and if you guys want to play it, it's actually a good time to join. They're giving away a free legend because it reset, 6th year anniversary or whatever. But it's pretty cool. But I am saving your stuff, guys. I got everything, so yeah. See you guys around in the next one. 0 out.